Hello, I'm Santosh Kumar. Now I'm continuing the concept yesterday, that is geometry. As we learned in the before lecture, to triangles, the area of triangle is equals to half base times height. We need to continue from here. Now, if two lines are going to a single point, then we can say that those two lines are intersecting lines. Those two lines are intersecting lines. We can say this line as L1 and this line as L2. Here L1 and L2 are intersecting. This is the point of intersection. It is the case of intersection. Now if you see here, this is the line L1 and this is the midpoint of that line, and this is another line passing through that midpoint L2. Here in this case we can say that line L2 bisects the line L1. Bisecting means dividing the line into two equal parts. It is nothing but bisection. Here line L2 bisecting the line L1, as well as line L1 also bisecting the line L2. Line L1 is dividing the line L2 into two equal parts, as well as line L2 bisecting the line L1 into two equal parts. So here L2 bisects L1 and L1 bisects L2. So L1 and L2 are bisecting each other. This is the concept of bisection. This is the concept of intersection. The difference between intersection and bisection is that the intersection of lines into two equal parts is nothing but bisection. Now the another case is that this is the line L1 and this is the line L2. Here line L2 bisecting the line L1 and line L1 bisecting the line L2 with an angle of 90 degrees. So this is called perpendicularly bisect. Perpendicularly bisect. Bisecting each other, L1 and L2 lines. These are the three concepts: intersection and bisection, perpendicular bisection. In intersection, the line two lines are meet at one point. That point is nothing but point of intersection. And here coming to bisection, bisection is nothing but intersection into two equal parts. So that point is nothing but point of bisection. Point of bisection. Here it is also called point of bisection. This is the concept of intersection and bisection. Now coming to the next concept. If two lines are passing through single line, we can say as it intersection or bisection. If three lines passing through a single point, then we can call the three lines. This is L1 line and this is L2 line and this is L3 line. here L1, L2 and L3 lines passing through the single point. So here L1, L2, L3 are concurrent lines. This point is nothing but point of concurrence. Point of concurrence. If three lines are passing through a single point, then those lines are called concurrent lines, and that point is nothing but point of concurrence. Coming to the concept of triangles, in a triangle, we can observe three different lines from these vertices. So first we need to discuss some standard points in a triangle. Triangle consists of some lines, some concurrent lines. We need to discuss them now. If we are the vertex and the midpoint of opposite side, then we get median. If we are the vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side, then we get median. What is meant by median? Median is nothing but the line joining the vertex and midpoint of opposite side. It is called median. Median is nothing but the line joining the vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side. The triangle has three vertices. This is vertex, this is also vertex, this is also vertex. This vertex and the midpoint of the opposite side, we can construct a median. This A, this B and C. This is nothing but AD. Here D is the midpoint of BC. And we can construct another median like this. B and E. Here E is the midpoint of AC. And we can construct another median like this. F. Here F is the midpoint of AB. This is the point of concurrence. Here we got three medians. In a triangle, the medians are concurrent lines. The point of concurrence is nothing but centroid. The point of concurrence is nothing but centroid. We can denote it by G, centroid. Every centroid divides the median into 2:1 ratio. Every centroid divides the median into 2:1 ratio. Every centroid divides the median into 2:1 ratio. Now, here in this diagram, E is midpoint of AC and F is midpoint of AB, and here D is midpoint of BC. In a triangle, all three medians are concurrent lines, and the point of concurrence is nothing but centroid. In a triangle, the medians are concurrent. The point of concurrence is centroid. point of concurrence is centroid. Okay, now this is the first point of concurrence. This is the first standard point in triangle. Now we need to discuss another standard point. We need to discuss altitude. What is meant by altitude? Altitude is nothing but the perpendicular drawn from the vertex to the opposite side. This is one altitude, and this is another altitude, and this is another altitude. Altitude is nothing but the perpendicular drawn from the opposite side. Or simply we can call it as height. Altitude is nothing but height. The definition of altitude is the perpendicular drawn from the vertex to opposite side is nothing but altitude. In a triangle, altitudes are concurrent lines. Here this point is A, B, C. We can say A dash, B dash, C dash. Here A dash is one altitude, B dash is one altitude, C dash is altitude. These three altitudes are meet at single point. That point is nothing but point of concurrence or orthocenter. That point is nothing but orthocenter. We can denote it as O. In a triangle, the altitudes are concurrent. The point of concurrence is orthocenter. O. This is the second standard point. Now we need to discuss the third standard point. This is the second standard point, and we need to discuss the third standard point. It's also very simple. Here we need to draw perpendicular bisectors. We need to draw a perpendicular through midpoint of the side. This is the midpoint. Through this midpoint we can draw a perpendicular. This is perpendicular and it is passing through the midpoint, so it bisects this side, so we can call it as perpendicular bisector. What is meant by perpendicular bisector? A perpendicular bisector is line which bisects the side perpendicularly. Okay, a perpendicular bisector is a line which bisects the side perpendicularly